got a piece of furniture that you absolutely love but have no clue on how to fix or repair it? Well, on today's episode, I'm hoping to spark your creativity with a couple of furniture flips that I need to do at my house. My dining table has been an absolute mess for over a year, from a wet towel that was left on the top and it made it all warped and weird looking. Do I putty it all out and paint it, or do I attempt to switch out the veneer, which seems a little tricky? Also, I had a damaged dining room chair that had the caning broke out. If you've been watching, you probably know what I'm talking about. And finally, we're gonna be playing a little all in good fun, friendly prank at Lisa's daughter's, Ellie's, new apartment. That was a mouthful. But we're also gonna be kind of going over some ideas of maybe some things that we could do for future episodes at her house as well, like some renter-friendly ideas. And you wanna make sure you stay tuned to the very end, because I've got one last little quick DIY that will really flip the script in my dining room. With all that being said, let's get started. First up, we are going to address this table. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you will have seen me made this over the first time several years ago. And then you will know that right before we moved into this new home, somebody put a wet towel on the top of this and damaged it. And I have been hemming and hawing about what to do with this for a long time. I've even kept my eyes open for a new dining table. I haven't found anything that I really love like a ton yet, and I have decided that we are going to just make it over for now until I find something else, and then it will be in better condition for if I sell it or something like that in the future. So we have got a section that is about 8 inches by 10 or 12 inches that is in need of some love, and I was like, do I just rip it out and fill it full of Bondo and paint it out and make it all one color? But I figure at this point it couldn't look worse. So if we ruin it, it's already ruined. And if it doesn't look good, we can just Bondo it and paint the whole thing black.
I had a backup plan.
We're gonna go ahead and we are going to attempt the veneer. What we're gonna do is we're only gonna take out like the damaged sections here. We are gonna take a steamer and steam it. So hopefully that will heat up and loosen up the glue, and we'll scrape off what's there. And we're gonna try to inset a veneer in this table. And then as far as the base of the table, we may change out the color on this as well. Let's start by just getting rid of the damaged veneer, and we'll just go from there. Here goes nothing. Okay, here we go. We're gonna just try to aim it right at the damaged area. So that ended up being a little bit more tedious than I expected, but I did learn a few things. And the first thing that I learned was you gotta let that wet towel sit again. I mean, the wet towel is how it kind of got warped and damaged in the first place and how it got loosened from the glue. I set that on there. Also, you wanna make sure that you leave that iron on that spot, get it nice and hot. Then once you remove the iron, let that wet towel sit and like get all of the steam in it. Then you can carefully peel it back. And it came off in much bigger chunks when I did it this way. We are going to tape off. So we're basically taping off the section and keeping the area that we don't want to remove kind of protected. So I've been letting this sit for about an hour. Now I'm gonna take my Rowenta. I was trying to find my crappy one, but I don't know where it is right now. So I am also going to be putting a parchment paper in between just to try to protect my iron a little bit better, because I really love my Rowenta. I think the heat mixed with the wet towel should hopefully help lift this easier, because it was not going too easy beforehand. So hopefully it will go good this time. Okay, it was a little surgical at times, but we got that piece out. all right there. Kind of a mess, but I'll clean it up. Then it was time to add the new veneer. Now, one quick pro tip for you is I saw a lot of people who got the veneer and then they used some kind of wood glue on it, then they had to like let it dry and then they could glue it on, and it just seemed like some extra steps. So what I ended up doing is I found on Amazon some veneer that already had the glue on the back. This made things so much easier. I am going to inset this to where it goes, and we're gonna make marks. So that will be right there, right on that grain. I've got a carpenter's square here, and we can line these two things up. And I think we're gonna cut this. Now the good thing is I have extra if we don't quite get this right. You can see it's got a pre-glued backing. That seems fine here. This is really weird. Something's crooked. So it's like just a little bit crooked. So that makes things a little trickier. Actually, I think we can make this original one work. We're just gonna have to trim a little bit off of the side here. Hopefully this one fits a little better. Okay. This is the best we're gonna get. Here goes nothing. This is pre-glued, so the backing has got glue and it's already sticky. We are gonna very carefully get it started. Then I just took a dry iron this time, not a hot steaming one, and then I also put down a nice piece of parchment paper. So the parchment paper kept it nice and protected, and I just ironed that in just as I would with edge banding, like you would on the edge of a shelf. This was so much easier. Then it was time to take it out to my workshop. Okay, so we're just gonna take some wood filler and fill in some of the cracks right around here, but also I've got like a pretty big gap here. While we let that wood putty dry, it was time for a little bit of some shenanigans. Now, I know you love Lisa and I's shenanigans with our friends, so this was no exception, but it was all good fun. So let's go see what we did. Do you want to share with everybody what the shenanigans are, Lisa?
Okay, as you all know, my daughter and Mac just got married, and they have now moved into their first apartment.
Yes.
And we
can't wait to see.
We want to share some love with them. So, of course, you guys know Leslie. She's come with us thrifting. We have a new friend today.
Raina! We love Raina.
We love Raina. So we're going to go upstairs, and we are going to get some teeny tiny little ducks. And this is actually Leslie's idea.
Yeah, why Leslie? Why the ducks?
Okay, so a couple years ago, we went on a trip. We were on a cruise with our friends. Actually, Natalie and Raina were there. And my daughter, she was 19 at the time. She was staying home with our son, and she likes to pull pranks. And so when we got home, I had a tiny little duck on my pillow in my bedroom, and it just said, "Have fun finding all my brothers and sisters." There were 50 ducks, tiny ducks that she had all over my house. I literally could not find all of them. It took me 4 months. I had found all but one. She knew where that last one was, so she gave it to me for Christmas. 4 months later, she wrapped it up and gave it to me as a present. So when my daughter got married last August, it was payback time. Raina and I actually went to their apartment, and we hid a bunch of ducks all over their little apartment and took some awkward photos, and it was just good fun. So now we're paying it forward.
We're doing it.
Now it's a tradition.
Yeah, it's a new tradition.
That's right.
Anytime anybody gets married, this is happening. So
Let's go in, ladies. Let's have some fun. Cutest cutest apartment
Super cute
ever.
apartment.
Like,
Beautiful.
I didn't have something this cute. So we're gonna hide some in kind of more obvious places to make it fun, but then we're gonna hide them in like super random spots that they might never find, because we want it to take them a while, right?
A long time. We want them to feel our love
forever.
for
Every time
months
they
and
find a
months
duck,
at a
it's
time.
like an I love you from us.
I love that. Let's get hiding these ducks.
Let's do it.
All right. I'm gonna hide one, and I'm gonna crawl up on their island and stick it on the top of a light fixture. So let's do it.
You can do it.
A little bit white.
Oh, our first fail.
Okay.
I'll grab it. Our first
There we go.
We got it.
Right
They're not gonna find that one for a while.
there. Okay.
Raina, what are you doing?
We're looking for a pocket.
Pocket.
Ellie, why don't you just...
Oh no.
That's the bridal shower
I know,
dress.
so
That is.
pretty.
have
Ellie,
a
why don't
walk-in
any of your
closet.
dresses have pockets?
Like, that's a must. You need pockets in
Okay.
dresses.
Jeans.
Jeans.
Okay.
There it is.
Because she's not going to wear jeans
In
until
the
next
pocket.
winter.
Don't
What'd you
shock
find?
yourself.
So whatever this is, I guess it's
The
their...
breaker.
Yeah, the breakers. I'm going to try. I don't know if it'll work.
Don't zap yourself, Leslie.
I'll try.
Come on. Come on, duck.
Like, when are they ever going to find that?
They're not.
Ah, that's a good one. Good one.
Did I not get that?
Ah, I love it. I'm gonna put it on top of their Amazon Echo plug right here. That's just a super easy, obvious one.
Yeah, you need some that are obvious.
That's
To
cute.
make them feel like they're making progress.
Yeah. Keep them motivated, right?
Yes, otherwise...
People will lose hope.
We're a bunch of trouble, aren't we? All right, so we're gonna take a little break from our shenanigans and get back to work, and that means we need to start sanding the table. But before we start sanding, I have something that I have to cover up, and let me show you what that is. This chandelier, I actually bought to go over our dining table. This one over here is actually in the entryway, and let me tell you a little bit about both of these real quick. So this one right here, my husband hated. And my husband really doesn't offer a strong opinion on things. I know he's mentioned that he likes the monstrosity in the living room.
You love it.
This right here, he absolutely hated. He said it felt like it should have gone into like a medieval castle or something. So it's in our garage. I spray painted the metal on it, so I can't return it. So it's not like I could pack it up and send it back and get my money back because I spray painted it. And then this one was in our entryway, and I want to go in a different direction than what was originally there, but I really don't like what I switched it to.
Regretfully.
I love my husband, and maybe we can concede on this and we won't concede on the monstrosity. So, okay, now we'll get it covered up and then we'll start sanding. I look ridiculous, but at least I'll be safe. So the important thing is with this is to kind of level up your sandpaper. So you're gonna start with a really low grit, like a 60 or 80. I had an 80 and that seemed to work out okay. Then I went to like 180, and then I went to a 220, and this got it a whole lot smoother. Okay, now it's time to stain. We're gonna be using this Verifane gel stain in the color Kona, which is the same stain that I used on my old fireplace mantle in my last house. It's a rich, dark, beautiful wood, and I think it's gonna be dark enough and deep enough that it's gonna disguise the fact that we have a patch on the table. Hopefully. So let's do it. Just in case I spill when I'm stirring. I mean, even look how opaque it is on the stir stick. So let's see how it goes. All right. Okay, I think we're disguising it really, really well, actually. I think my plan is looking like it's succeeding. I love it, I love it. And while it was drying, that is when I went to tackle the base of the table, which the white was nice in my other house. It just wasn't making sense in here. So I chose to paint it out in Sherwin-Williams Black Caviar. Now, you remember that last time I painted this table and used a sprayer indoors? Yeah, we're not gonna do that this time. I mean, it ended up being fine, but I think it was more work than it needed to be, and we're just gonna go ahead and paint this with a brush. We're just gonna start from the inside and then we'll work out. I will say painting it with a brush took a little bit longer. The nice thing about using the brush is I was able to get into a lot of those minor details that are on the table. I can't play right now, baby girl. I can't play right now, I gotta paint. Go get the boys. Go get the boys. So I have forever loved this style of table, and that's why I am trying to fix this one, because I haven't found anything similar to this look that I really, really loved. If I were to switch it out, I would probably switch it out for like maybe a slightly larger version of what I already have, because I really love this look. In fact, this look is inspired by a table that I found that's over $3,000. So, and I found my table many years ago at a thrift store for $75. So it was such a good deal. Now, while the stain is drying and while the paint is drying, we got a whole lot of things drying. Let's move on to the chair makeover. So you may recognize this chair. It was in my breakfast nook at first, and then I ended up getting some chairs that I liked better. They're nicer, more comfortable. These are great, I mean, but the other chairs are just nicer. So we ended up using these ones as some desk chairs for my boys who do online school. Of course, they're teenage boys, so they're like leaning on the chairs like this, and somehow, some way, this got broken out. So I've never worked with caning before. I'm sure there's a way to repair it, but I was like, let's take the opportunity to just have a little fun and replace it with something else. I love cheetah print. You might know that about me. On the front, I was thinking we could use some of this cheetah print fabric. It's the same fabric I used on my dining chairs. And I thought that was kind of fun and sassy, but we wouldn't just stop there, because that would be not Natalie. So on the back side, I had this already in the stash, and I thought it would be really fun to put the striped on the back. So that would just give it a little bit of interest and fun. And I think these work really great together. And so we're gonna just have a little fun and just do the back, and we're gonna make it kind of an upholster thing. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna rip this out the rest of the way. There we go. Now, I might hang on to this caning because maybe we could use it in a small like craft project. And we can also use it kind of as a template when we're cutting out the fabric. And there we go. I can feel that there's like pokey things sticking out here. I guess we could pull those out, but I really do think it would be a wasted effort. We want to cut it just bigger than what's here, and we will start stapling it into place. I bought this Surebonder upholstery staple gun, but I liked that this tip was a little bit tighter because we're gonna be working in like a tighter spot. I wanted to give it a try, and it was only like less than $40. It might've been like $35. It is pneumatic, which means it needs to be attached to an air compressor. You would need an air compressor for this. We'll cut out the fabric first, and then I'll grab my safety glasses because we are working with some staples. And you gotta protect your eyes. So here we go. And now we can attach that. But you can see it's woven fabric because it looks the same on either side. So this is really good quality, and it was just been hanging out in my stash for years. So I'm excited to use it. So this is gonna seem like a little bit weird, but we're actually gonna attach this fabric from the front. so that like when you see it on the back, it's completely finished and like the rough side will be on the front. So we're gonna tape it into place to make sure that everything is facing the directions that we want it to. So we've got 3 stripes. Once we get it pulled, it will be just the 3 stripes though, and I think that will be good. We're gonna go north, south, east, west, or west, east, but basically we wanna stretch it from the middle and then work out. There we go, yeah. Okay, so there we go. We got the first one in. Maybe I need an Aaliyah one. Should I make an Aaliyah version with the cheetah print and the sparkles? Okay, so that feels really, really good. See, honestly, I love it. It looks really good. And now we're gonna take those scissors and we'll just trim off the excess. And this is why I use these short scissors when I'm doing stuff like this, is because they're called like easy action scissors. It helps you get into those weird, like tight corners better than like the normal scissors. Honestly, if you didn't like the cheetah print, something like this would be cute on either side, like making it like kind of a pinstripe look. This will be what the back looks like. See how polished and finished that looks, because all of the ugly and mechanics is on the front, but we're gonna cover that up, so don't you worry. So then we'll put some fabric over the top of that, but in between that, we need to do some batting. We need to make it a little bit soft, right? I have this, but I don't have the batting. So this is a good, like something that's a little bit, got more structure to it. This one is like 2 inches thick. I use this for my benches. This is too thick for the back of this chair. But this one is like 1 inch thick, and that's, you know, that's even maybe a little on the thicker side, maybe even like a 1/2 inch, but I think we can get away with this. So we will cut an oval. And then what I want to do is like another layer of batting, and then it will give us that kind of cushiony back that we want. It's almost has me thinking about doing the whole thing kind of a pinstripe, but almost. I really am set on doing the cheetah print on the front. It's a beautiful morning and I am back from getting my supplies, and this is the fray check. We're gonna go ahead and put that on our backing right now, just so the edges don't fray, and then we will start with the foam and then the batting and then the top, and hopefully we will have this done really, really fast. So I couldn't find a high loft batting, so I'm going to just go ahead and double this up. Give ourselves a little bit of breathing room to kind of wrap it where we want, and then we can go back in and cut off the excess. And I'm actually not going to even bother cutting on that side, because we could just cut that off after we've stapled. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, then we're gonna layer that, and then we're gonna staple that into place. Here we go. We are going to first take our memory foam, our foam piece, and we're gonna get it in there as centered as possible. Okay, but in order to hold that into place, we're gonna put batting over the top. That looks good. Okay, we just need to put our cheetah fabric. So we'll cut this out now. we're gonna just lay our fabric over the top, and this is gonna be amazing, I can tell already. And we're gonna just hopefully get it in the right spot. So then we're gonna do halfway here, halfway here, halfway here, and then we'll fill in, just like we've been doing on every one. I am really liking this. Now that we've got that all stapled on, we're gonna cut off the excess. That looks really, really good, but this is probably not very pretty, but we're gonna fix that. That looks a lot better. So we need to finish up the chair with some welting, and we're gonna just take some of this cord, and hopefully I have enough to do it. It needs to be a double welt. So all I'm gonna do is we are going to just kind of outline here, and that is about how much we need, and then we need to double it up. So double up, and then that should be approximately, we'll give ourselves a little wiggle room. We can create our double welt that will go around here. So meet me at my sewing machine. So we are going to make our double welting, and we are gonna need approximately 2.5 inches. There we go. So we've got 2 pieces. That'll be plenty for what we're doing. So now we're gonna sew these 2 pieces together just so we have a long contiguous one. Because it's got a busy pattern, I don't think you'll even really notice. So we are gonna do that now. You put it on a little bit bigger stitch on something this woven. Clip off the loose threads. Now we have our seam, and you can't really see because it's like just spots. And we are going to create our double welting. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our cording, we're gonna put that in the middle like so, and then we're gonna fold that in on itself, and then we're gonna fold this over the top like so, and see how it's in there, and then we're gonna run the stitch right down the middle. And then we're gonna make sure it's longer, like a 4 or a 4.5. This is the setup. Okay, now all we're gonna do is hot glue our welting on, and we'll start it here at the bottom, and we're gonna try to disguise all of the ugly mechanics here. We're gonna hot glue, and Dolly, if you hear chaos in the background, my kids are having a little break from school and they are gaming. We're gonna stop about 2 inches before we get to the bottom here, and we're gonna give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room, and I'll show you why. So before we finish this off, we are going to cut off some of the excess right there. What we need to do is fold this back on itself. See what I'm doing here? So we have a very finished edge, and then we're gonna pull this out, and the goal is to kind of wrap that around there and not have an unfinished edge, or just kind of over, maybe at least overlap that, right? I can actually cut off just a touch more, and then we will fold this in on itself, and then we can get rid of some of this excess that will kind of add bulk. We don't really want the bulk. And we're going to put some hot glue there and pinch that into place. I will add some hot glue there. And then we will add our final hot glue. Okay, there we go. We're done. Well, I'm gonna do a little cleanup, but we're done. Now that the chair is done, let's wrap up that little prank and see what else we have in mind at Ellie's apartment. What are you doing, Lisa?
A little duck in the fridge to remind them that every time they get a snack, we love them.
I love it. Leslie is leaving a note explaining the rules of the game.
There's no rules. It's just
There are rules. Hey, she's writing a note.
I have an idea. And I normally don't do toilet talk, but we're gonna put, do you think it would cause a problem if I put it floating in the toilet bowl? Like not in the bowl, but like in the tank? Maybe I can set it right here so it's not like gonna get flushed or something. Let's see. There we go. That is gonna, they're never gonna find that. We're like desecrating their house. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we are breaking it in.
Breaking it. Bunch of silly women. Who gave him that?
Probably.
Yeah. That's your favorite
That's
side, isn't it?
That's my favorite flavor.
It's champagne toast. I have some stuff from her from
dropped
that
one in the
too.
Kleenex
It's
box.
really, really yummy. Okay, there you go. That one will, she'll know is from you because it's your thing.
I'm not tall enough. That's cute. You're not tall enough.
It's gotta be Lisa. She's the only tall one here. There we go. Because Lisa, how tall are you? Like 5'9" or something right there?
5'8", yeah.
Okay.
Definitely helps.
Yep, so that's gonna be hard.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Has anybody stuck one on the top of the cabinets?
We should totally do that.
Yes, we gotta do
All right,
it.
climb up there.
I'll climb up there.
Be safe. Safety first.
It's serious business if Natalie's climbing on top of the countertop.
Just be safe.
They are never gonna find these.
We are so much fun.
We are. We're so funny.
I have a few more drinks.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, hold on, Raina, stop.
Hopefully it'll float.
Hopefully it'll float. If not,
She'll be upset. Oh, nope, it's sinking. It's there forever. You can't take it back.
Get there eventually.
We're done with the soap. I lost one under the couch.
Oh, there he is.
That's height. That's in. So as we've mentioned in past episodes, we've got some ideas for maybe doing some help feathering their nest a little bit. So we're gonna walk through and kind of get some ideas and we'll let you in on some of the things we're thinking for future content.
I think so because every newlywed needs a little bit of help in their first home, and even though this is beautiful, we're gonna help them make it even more homey and beautiful, and
it's a rental property, so this will be good, like renter-friendly ideas.
yes,
So.
I think so.
Okay, let's look. Okay, so this is a pretty nice space, Lisa. I mean,
It's so nice. Like this almost doubles their square footage
totally.
of their home. This
Look at that.
big
That's
balcony.
like an additional room over there. There's a big space over here.
And it's got a nice view, so this would be really fun to like have a seating area.
Yeah.
Where they can come and relax in the evening. So this is a great place to decorate. I see like a rug, like an outdoor rug.
Yeah.
Some chairs. Of course, Mac was talking about putting a TV out here. What man doesn't want a TV right there on the...
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. Do you have any ideas?
Okay, well, I think it would be really cool since they don't have like a dining space inside to do some kind of outdoor dining somehow.
That's a great idea.
We live in Florida, so the weather is nice a lot of the time, so that would really make sense, especially since there's no dining room in there and a sitting area. So maybe a barbecue or something. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Plants, I don't know. We'll let our imagination go wild.
I have the best friends. They are so much fun. I enjoy hanging out with them, and it was just a lot of fun. It was all friendly. And how long do you think it's gonna take Ellie to find all of those ducks? And we may not have told her the accurate amount. Now that we're back home, and that we still have the paint out, let's do a little touch up on the existing dining room chairs that were in there. They were a little bit beat up from hitting the white paint on the table, so there was like white scuff marks all over. And hopefully now that the table is black all over, we won't get those white scuff marks. But it was just easy because I use the same color of paint. I can just touch it up, and there is meant to be kind of like a rubbed through effect, so I made sure to do a very light coat and not go too heavy on the paint, because the whole idea is kind of more of a black color wash chair than a totally saturated chair. Now, if you haven't seen me make over these chairs, these are actual Pottery Barn chairs that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I believe they were like 20 bucks a piece when I originally got them, and I got 4 of them. They were like the best deal ever, maybe $25 a piece. And that little bit of extra black touch-up paint is gonna make all the difference. Okay, with our table base finished and our chairs touch-up painted and everything, the only thing we have left to do is the polyurethane on the tabletop, and I decided to go with a matte finish. I want to do 2 coats. This is going to be really great. We're going to put on the first coat, let it set a couple hours, and hopefully we'll be able to install it later this evening. So I'm super excited. Okay, and I'm going to be using a foam roller, and hopefully that will work. And I'm just going to dunk it into the can. Now, I know that maybe doing a matte finish isn't as going to give us as like long of lasting as a finish, I don't think anyways, as like a high sheen, high gloss. That's gonna be a little bit more durable. But this is our formal dining room table. We are not using it on a daily basis, and so I felt like it was okay. I just thought it would look really, really nice to have a satin paint finish with a matte finish on the tabletop. I just thought that would look really good together and really high end. So that's what I did. Then I let the last coat dry for 4 hours. Now, while that last coat is drying, let's do that last minute DIY that I promised you. What I wanted was some tie backs for the curtains so that we could really open up and enhance these showpiece windows that we have, these 2-story windows that are so beautiful and have been kind of hidden by the curtains. I knew I wanted some tie backs to really open it up during the day. So I ordered some off of Amazon, and while I liked the style, the finish didn't quite work, and I needed to kind of match it up to the curtain rods that are hanging the curtains from. So I took it in my craft room and we gave it a little bit of a makeover. So basically, I took some Rub and Buff. I am missing some of my Rub and Buff colors. I don't know what I did with them. They're probably somewhere in the chaos of my craft room right now, but I only had, I believe, antique gold, and I think gold leaf is my favorite, or it might be reversed. So I put that on, and the color wasn't quite right, so I went and got some gold craft paint that I had that's a little bit brighter, and I gave that a more saturated look and let that dry. But that wasn't quite right. So then I took some antique wax to kind of age it out a little bit, and that was the perfect thing. And then it was time to install them, and I was a little nervous. So I want to install these tie backs, which we have painted to kind of match our curtain rods up there. I'm a little concerned because it's an exterior wall that we are going to run into the same issue that I've had on every exterior wall here, and that is the cinder block framing, which is amazing. It makes a sturdy house, but it makes so many problems when trying to install things like this. So wish me luck. Look how pretty that is. I just love a well-lit home. I love light, I love to let it in, and this is perfect for me. And what's so convenient about it is at night, we can just very easily pull them off the tie backs. Isn't this so nice? Like to have those open and all that light coming in, it just feels so good. Okay, so we've done 2 kinds of different dining chairs. We've done some curtain pullbacks, and we've done everything we need to on the dining room table except reassemble it. So that's what I did. I got my son's help to put the last piece on top because it needed to line up well. And you guys, I am absolutely and utterly thrilled with the way the dining room table looks overall. If I were to go back and do things again, I would have probably stripped out the veneer of that entire middle section because you can see, I mean, it's not like super obvious, but it looks a million times better than it did when it was damaged. And so like, just learn from this. If you have like a little section, just take out that whole section. I think that that would have made it look a little bit less noticeable, but overall, this looks incredible. And it's such a night and day difference. It looks so much like our high-end inspiration piece that I absolutely love. Now, will I keep this table forever? I don't know, because there is one thing that bothers me about it. It's a little too narrow for my dining room chairs to fully slide underneath the table. So if I ever come across another scroll table like this, because I really do love this style that's a little bit bigger, a little bit larger, I wouldn't be surprised if I snag this. And now with this one in better condition, I can sell it instead of maybe donating it to a thrift store. I think somebody would still be thrilled to get this table. So overall, I am just really happy with the work that we did, and we learned a lot along the way. So there you go. So coming up in the next couple weeks, we're gonna be doing some spring decor. We're gonna be doing some IKEA hacks. We've got a lot of really fun things planned. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I would really encourage you to do so. I'm really trying hard to hit a 500,000 subscriber mark this year. It's not about the numbers, but it is kind of fun to make a goal and achieve it. So if you could help me with that, that would be amazing. So we've got lots of fun things coming. I promise you, you are not gonna wanna miss all of the announcements that are coming. I've got so much planned. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's 50 thrift flips you may want to check out as well. And to all of you, I just want to remind you, you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.